Turkish dramas have mastered the forced marriage trope, from revenge weddings to family pressure to contract marriages that turn real. These stories give us intense chemistry, emotional trauma, jealousy, and unforgettable love stories. Today, I'm counting down 30 Turkish dramas where marriage begins with dislike, but ends with love. 1. Sıla. Sıla is tricked into returning to her hometown and forced to marry Boran to honor a family feud agreement. She hates the tradition and resists him at every turn. But Boran, though bound by custom, slowly protects her and softens. What starts as imprisonment turns into deep emotional love. 2. Hırkay. Miran marries Reyhan only to destroy her family as revenge. Their wedding is part of a calculated plan. But as Reyhan's innocence and strength break through his hatred, revenge turns into obsession, and obsession becomes love. 3. Yemen. Reyhan is forced into marriage with Emir because of a wish. Emir doesn't want the marriage and treats her coldly, but Reyhan's patience and loyalty slowly melt his arrogance, creating one of the longest slow-burn forced marriages in Turkish TV history. 4. Yalı Çapkını. Ferit is forced by his powerful grandfather to marry Seyran to fix his reckless lifestyle. Seyran doesn't want this life either. Their marriage starts with resentment and pride, but jealousy, vulnerability, and passion begin to shift everything. 5. Fatma Gül'ün suçu ne? After a traumatic incident, Fatma Gül is forced to marry Kerim to protect honor. She despises him, believing he's guilty. The story follows her healing, justice battle, and the painful transformation of hatred into love. 6. Kan Çiçekleri. Dilan and Boran are forced to marry to stop a blood feud between families. She sees him as the enemy responsible for her pain. But as secrets unfold, they slowly discover they were victims of the same problem. 7. Kara Sevda. Nihan is forced to marry Emir under pressure. Though her true love is Kemal, her marriage becomes a prison. Over time, emotional complexity and power struggles redefine what marriage means in this tragic love triangle. 8. Bir Zamanlar Çukurova Züleyha is forced into marriage to protect secrets and survival. Love, power, and jealousy explode inside a traditional household where marriages are often strategic rather than romantic. 9. Kaderimin yazıldığı gün. Defne agrees to be a surrogate in a wealthy family, but complications lead to an unexpected marriage dynamic filled with resentment, emotional distance, and eventual romantic tension. 10. Adını Sen Koy, You Name It, daily series. Zehra is forced to marry Omer for the sake of his sister. They are cold and formal at first, but love blossoms slowly. 11. Zalim İstanbul. Cemre is forced into marriage within a powerful, manipulative family. Secrets and revenge slowly turn the power balance, leading to emotional shifts no one expected. 12. Gülçemal. Gülçemal forces Deva into marriage as part of revenge against her mother. She hates him, he controls everything, but emotional trauma bonds them in unexpected ways. 13. Sahip Sizler. Devran forces Aziz into marriage for power and revenge. She fights him emotionally at every step, but their forced union becomes a battlefield of pride, secrets, and growing attraction. 14. Aşk ve Ceza. Family expectations and revenge plots lead to reluctant marriages where trust must be rebuilt from zero. 15. Yaralı Kuşlar. A contract marriage begins for protection and survival. Emotional distance gradually turns into protective love. 16. Emanet. Seher marries Yaman to gain custody and protect a child. They start as enemies, bound by legal necessity, but domestic life slowly reshapes their hearts. 17. Aşka Sürgün, Exiled for Love. Two enemies from feuding families are forced to marry to end the conflict. Love blooms in unexpected ways. 18. Ben bu Cihana Sığmazam. Strategic marriages tied to power and protection lead to unexpected emotional entanglements. 19. Kefaret. Marriage becomes a battleground of truth and betrayal before emotional healing begins. 20. Söz, Duty forces characters into commitments they didn't choose, creating reluctant romantic arcs. 21. Aşk-ı Memnu. A young woman marries a wealthy older man for security, not love, leading to forbidden passion and emotional chaos. 22. Masumiyet. Family pressure shapes romantic choices, creating toxic unions before empowerment emerges. 23. Galen. A pure arranged marriage story where two strangers are forced together to protect family honor and slowly learn to trust. 24. Karagül. Hidden secrets, tribal traditions, and forced unions shape intense romantic tension. 25. İffet. Power imbalance and forced decisions create emotional hatred before redemption. 26. Gecenin Kraliçesi. Marriage born of manipulation and revenge leads to passion. 27. Yaprak Dökümü. Traditional arranged marriages cause generational heartbreak and eventual emotional growth. 28. Kalp Yarası, Heart Wound. Ayşe and Ferit fake a marriage for revenge. Initially hostile and distant, their emotional bond deepens into real love. 29. İki yabancı, two strangers. Forced into marriage for family honor, two strangers despise each other. Their journey from mistrust to love is full of drama. 30. Gönüldağı. Features arranged rural marriages that slowly grow into heartfelt love stories. 31. Arafta. A dark romance where two people from opposing sides are forced together by fate, creating a passionate enemies-to-lovers storyline. 32. Kiralık aşk. A waitress enters a fake relationship with a wealthy businessman. Their constant arguments and misunderstandings slowly turn into real love. 33. Bambaşka biri. A determined prosecutor investigates a murder and clashes with a famous journalist hiding dark secrets. Their mistrust slowly turns into romance. 34. Aşk Mantık. Intikam. An ex-married couple who divorced after struggling financially meet again when the husband becomes rich. They start off as rivals but rediscover their love. 35. Aşk Laftan Anlamaz. A confident CEO constantly clashes with a stubborn employee. Their workplace rivalry slowly turns into a passionate romance. 36. Bambaşka biri. A determined prosecutor investigates a murder case while clashing with a famous journalist who has dark secrets. Their mistrust slowly becomes romance. 37. Deha. This action drama follows a mathematical genius involved in criminal networks and intense rivalries that evolve into complicated relationships. 38. Old Money. A wealthy heir and a self-made businessman clash over family secrets and power, but their rivalry slowly develops into romantic tension. 39. Uzak Şehir. One of the most talked-about new Turkish dramas. A woman returns to a dangerous region tied to powerful families and becomes entangled with a mysterious man from the rival side. Their relationship begins with distrust and conflict but slowly develops into romance. 40. To Love, to Lose. A struggling diner owner and a loan shark enforcer start as enemies but gradually develop a complicated romance.